Hello and welcome to the dressing skills video from the Children's Occupational Therapy team at West Ham Lane Health Centre. In this video we'll be sharing with you our top tips and strategies to help your child to develop their dressing skills. So let's get started. Our first tip is that undressing is learnt first. So help your child to practice undressing before dressing.
Lay the clothes out so your child can see the order that they're put on. Teach your child to dress in the same order each time. For example, underwear first, then socks, then shorts, then t-shirts. Allow plenty of time to practice dressing. Dressing before school can feel rushed, so practice dressing after school or in the evening. Reduce the amount of support you give your child when teaching them dressing skills. Start by helping them dress. Then move to pointing or demonstrating. And at last, give them instructions. Do up the button. Encourage your child to use a mirror to check that their clothes are on correctly. Choose looser fitting clothing as it's easier to put on and take off than tighter fitting clothes. If your child struggles with doing the buttons and zips on their trousers, try using trousers with an elasticated waist as these are easier to put on and off. Sit against the wall or use a small chair to provide extra stability when dressing. Use clothing with a clear front and back. Remind them that pockets and pictures go on the front and that clothing labels go on the back. Lay your child's clothing out face down so that the label is at the back of the clothing when they pick it up. Let your child complete the last step of the dressing activity and you help with the first steps. For example, start by putting the sock over the foot and the heel. Let your child pull the sock fully up the leg. When they've learnt this step, they can then learn to pull it over the heel and up the leg. As their skills improve, they can carry out more and more of the task until they can do the activity independently. When practicing buttons, start with large buttons. Large buttons are easier to hold and easier to push through the hole. Your child may have sensory needs that could impact their ability to get dressed. If your child dislikes certain clothing textures, then avoid these textures. Cut off clothing labels if your child doesn't like labels touching their skin.
If your child has a weaker side to their body, encourage them to dress the weak side first.
Practice doing the buttons and zips on toys, or start with a garment placed in front of the child on the table, not on them. Break the task down and demonstrate each step to the child. For example, 1. Find the two ends of the zip. 2. Make sure the buckle is pulled right down to the base. 3. Place the tooth of the zip into the hole. 4. Hold securely and pull the buckle up. You can add elastic bands, clips or hair bands to the end of the zip as this may make it easier for your child to grasp and pull. When using a hairband, push the band through the hole and then push one loop through the other loop and pull tightly. And finally, practice, practice, practice. It may take your child some time to learn the skills to dress, but stick with it. Encourage them to be independent, celebrate their progress, and have fun.